On this ACV, I'll be checking out 10 things Triple H unbanned and WWE from WrestleMania. Okay, let's go.
In WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 10. The Pile Driver. And despite the Attitude Era being the Wild West in WWE, one of the things that WWE, well, specifically Vince McMahon stood firm on was a ban on the Pile Driver. Unless you were names such as The Undertaker, the Pile Driver was strictly prohibited. McMahon believed that the move was very dangerous, and he wasn't going to allow wrestlers to risk injury by allowing them to perform the move in their matches. McMahon stuck to this blanket ban for decades, and it was only in 2024 when Triple H decided to loosen the rules around it. WWE would allow Kevin Owens to use a variation of the move known as a package pile driver. This version is a lot safer compared to the traditional move, and Owens is well established in being one of the safest wrestlers in all of WWE, so it makes sense why the game trusts him so much. To date, Owens is the only name that has been given the green light to use the move, and unless something drastic changes, it's unlikely to remain a move that is used in sporadic instances. Number 9. Unscripted promos. Under Vince McMahon, talent were micromanaged into oblivion, and this extended to promos. Wrestlers, unless they were at the upper echelon of the company, were given scripted promos that they had to follow word for word, and if they didn't, McMahon would verbally berate them backstage. Thankfully, under Triple H, this has vastly changed. The game prefers to give talent free reign when it comes to their promos, and this usually sees talent given bullet points, and then they're allowed to add their own unique material. This in turn has turned WWE into the promo company, as some of the work from wrestlers such as Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Drew McIntyre have been outstanding. Number 8. Controlling the commentary team. Vince McMahon was obsessed at controlling everything his commentary team said and did, so much so that numerous names quit their commentary position over the years. Whilst McMahon could have easily done this in a relaxed manner, his approach was outdated and borderline tyrannical, as he would often scream at the announce team whenever they said something that he didn't like. Under Triple H, the idea of controlling the announce team is out of the window. For the most part, Michael Cole as lead announcer for WWE is completely trusted to run the show and run commentary, and the results speak for themselves. The sheer quality of the commentary output in WWE vastly improved overnight, and Cole didn't just have his love for pro wrestling reignited. For the first time in years, he seemed genuinely happy calling the action. Cole himself has spoken at length about how happy he is under Triple H's management. This is what the WWE veteran had to say during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show. I think that freedom has really allowed the superstars, and I know for me, and I know for Pat as well, has allowed us to be more entertaining, to be more relaxed, to be able to sit back and enjoy this product as a fan. Also, who knows characters better than the character? Seth Rollins knows his character better than anyone on the planet, so why not allow him to be able to bring that character forward? I've seen everything in this business for nearly 30 years. I've never had as much fun as I've had the last couple of years, not only working with you, but working with Paul Levesque. Now, it's certainly alarming that McMahon had no idea that trusting his talent to do their job was the secret to them producing the finest work they've ever done. Number 7. Shorter premium live events. Our fans are split on whether Triple H's approach to premium live events is an improvement compared to what came prior. The game opts for shorter PLEs, and usually these cards have 5 matches. This allows everything to breathe, yet often a lot of key matches aren't able to make the actual card, which can often be disappointing. Also, these shows are filled to the brim with commercials, and this is obviously a TKO call, but it still impacts the quality of the show overall. Vince McMahon was obsessed with stacking his PLE match cards, and this became highly detrimental when it came to shows such as WrestleMania 35, as the show went on until midnight in the US, and it was so late that fans struggled to get home. There needs to be a balance there, and hopefully in time Triple H finds the right balance between a concise PLE match card and a match card that satisfies the general WWE audience. Number 6. The word wrestling. Now, under Vince McMahon, the word wrestling was seen as a taboo word, as if it was almost as if McMahon was ashamed to run a pro wrestling company. This is why McMahon would coin the term sports entertainment to refer to the pro wrestling aspect of the company. According to McMahon himself during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show, he believed that distancing himself from the word allowed WWE to separate themselves from everybody else. There's always been wrestling. I wanted to separate us from everybody else. My dad wasn't a part of that. Well, he was part of the NWA, but he had his own branding. It was Worldwide Wrestling Federation many years ago, and I thought that was brilliant. Wow, you're making yourself different from everyone else. and at the time when I bought my dad's business, he'd have never sold it to me if he knew what I was going to do. It's like, separate yourself, be who you want to be, especially the brand. It's WWE. It was WWF, which is another story. Under Triple H, wrestling is no longer a dirty word. Wrestling is name dropped every 5 minutes on Raw and SmackDown, and finally embracing the art form of pro wrestling is certainly helping a lot of lapsed fans get reintroduced to the WWE product once again. Number 5. Breaking kayfabe.
Yes.
Now, kayfabe is the act of making wrestling seem real to the outside world. Vince McMahon, with a few exceptions, kept this intact for decades. However, this all went out the window when Triple H took over. In Triple H's era of WWE, wrestlers openly talk about being a face or a heel, and even the opening of Raw on Netflix had Triple H breaking down the secrets of pro wrestling. The game would address WWE doing this on the post-Raw press conference, and his comments surprisingly led to a lot of controversy. The reaction seems like, we did a good job with it. That was the intent, to capture the emotion and let people know we're not hiding what we do. I saw a lot of the chatter today from people saying, oh my god, they said heel and face and shoot and work in one promo. We're not hiding what we do, that's what we do. To be honest, I think most of the world understands those terms, and they've almost transcended our business. It's what it is, people know what we are, we talked about it. We're not insulting anybody's intelligence, we're an art form, absolutely an art form that captures people's emotions. We don't take ourselves as seriously as most other people take us. Now, this has continued into the second quarter of 2025 as names such as The Rock have discussed the makings of their storylines just minutes after the show has gone off the air. It's understandable why traditional wrestling fans hate this type of thing, and it's unlikely to change anytime soon. Number 4. Outside bookings. And once you were signed to a WWE contract under Vince McMahon, the chances of McMahon allowing you to work anywhere else for a one-off appearance was extremely unlikely. Bookings of any kind had to be approved by McMahon, and he mostly rejected every single one of them. This led to a lot of disgruntled wrestlers over the years, as it wasn't just independent dates that wrestlers weren't permitted to attend, it was even movie and TV projects that in turn would have been amazing for their stature and popularity as a WWE name. But Triple H has changed this rule, and talent are allowed, within reason, to take on dates outside of their WWE contract. Wrestlers left, right, and center have shown up on the independent scene and almost even had a run in Japan. This is such a win for everybody involved, and it gives exposure to other smaller companies, and it allows wrestlers to know that they're working for a company that cares about their other ventures. Number 3. Booking time off. One of the fundamental problems with Vince McMahon's WWE was that the talent were burnt out. They were working multiple times a week around the US without a break, and they were all exhausted. Taking time off was strictly forbidden, and top names such as CM Punk and John Cena were often working injured when they should have been resting at home. Triple H and TKO have changed this, and now WWE live events have basically been removed altogether. Now, they still deliver international tours, however the idea of wrestlers working multiple times in a week is no more. According to Punk during an interview on the Masked Man show, WWE talent have access to an app that allows them to book key dates off. What I think is now in place is a system of management that understands burnout. The talent again is so rich that if Cody needs a show off, he can take that day off. If I need a day off, I can take that day off. I'm still flabbergasted that there's a tab on the WWE app that you can click and you can request days off. Brother, it still blows my mind. It's a brave new world. Now, the new WWE schedule has received endless praise from WWE veterans such as Randy Orton, and this is something that could have easily been introduced a decade ago, yet WWE just didn't want to put their talent welfare at the forefront. Number 2. Bloodshed. And WWE have managed to figure out a way of incorporating blood into their top angles without breaking PG guidelines. Blood can be a great tool in selling the emotion and intensity of a pro wrestling angle, and thankfully Triple H has decided to unban bloodshed. Key moments such as Drew McIntyre vs CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell and The Rock attacking Cody Rhodes have all led to bloodshed, and this has helped take the angles to the next level. WWE have thankfully not overused the blood, as it's used sporadically and only when the time is just right. Vince McMahon insisted that blood wasn't to be used in the PG era, and he often lost his mind if doctors couldn't patch up any unintentional blood in matches. According to Triple H on the Impulsive podcast, WWE haven't exactly changed their philosophy on bloodshed, but when it's needed, they will pull that trigger. Cody gets busted open the other day. It's shocking, especially in the right scenario. It was powerful. A lot that happens all the time, who cares? You know what I mean? So it's not a shift of philosophy, it's just when it's needed. Pull the trigger. But the discipline is only pulling the trigger when it really means something and when it's shocking, not when it's just, oh, we should do this when it counts. Now, a lot of fans have theorized that TKO is completely cool with WWE unbanning blood, especially with UFC featuring blood in virtually every bout. This is a smart theory and has a ton of merit, but would need to be confirmed by a TKO representative or even Triple H if it's true. And number 1, CM Punk.
Yep.
And Vince McMahon was often open to making amends with former disgruntled WWE talent. However, in his later years, McMahon seemed less willing to reconcile, and it was often Triple H that would act as a facilitator between WWE and the wrestler in question. This was seen with names such as the Ultimate Warrior and Bruno Sammartino, as Triple H worked endlessly to get the two legends back into the fold, and his casual approach worked wonders. When it comes to the way Triple H views disgruntled names returning to the company, it's seen as water under the bridge. Names such as Scott Steiner, who said some horrific personal comments about the game, have been welcomed back, and Triple H has put forgiveness at the forefront. In relation to CM Punk, he was truly a name that fans were convinced would never return. It was even said that when Punk visited a Raw show before his actual 2023 return, McMahon insisted that he was thrown out of the building. But it was Triple H who reconciled with Punk, and the two having a chat about all the bad blood managed to resolve things. In 2025, the two just don't work together. They have an incredibly healthy relationship, and the two are often seen engaging in laughs and even hugging backstage. Punk has gone from being outright banned in WWE to being one of the biggest and most valuable names, and this is all down to Triple H and the new regime. But there you have it, folks. 10 things Triple H.
Yeah, good video by WrestleMania. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on this video.
If you ain't fucking shorty, that's that shit I do. Like, open up my IG, bitches telling more lies. See them out in real life, niggas don't get no why. Pop a couple bandos, uno, dos, and four nights. Fuck up off of my dick, no bitch on my whole job. Oh my gosh, I just came with bunch of girls on me, it look like I just came in. Oh my gosh, whips foreign, throw the dots on my spot.